Hi, Casey Hendrickson here. As many of you know, you've been watching the news, you've been seeing that Afghan soldiers have been firing on American and NATO troops. They're calling this green on blue shootings. And this is a major problem, obviously, for our relationship with Afghanistan, for the mission. And right now, American troops and NATO troops have stopped embedding with Afghan soldiers. They've stopped training with them in order to get the problem under control. Now, this is something that they've been dealing with since day one in Afghanistan. It's just gotten a lot worse as of late. Now we have the executive branch of government, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the President's administration. They're all coming out and they're finally found a reason on why this is happening. Turns out they're blaming our troops. Now, General Allen is not happy about this. Many American military officials are not happy about this over in Afghanistan, but the Joint Chiefs of Staff has said, look, pretty much this is the problem of American troops and their ignorance of how to properly conduct themselves around Muslims. Turns out that American soldiers have been doing such heinous things as showing pictures of their family to their fellow soldiers, possibly kicking their feet up after a long march throughout the patrols in Afghanistan. And well, you can't do that because you're showing Muslims the soles of your shoes, which is highly offensive. It's basically like flipping somebody off over there. So now what they've done as a result of this offensive behavior from Western troops, and by the way, Hamid Karzai has said as much in a public statement as well, is they've been ordering re-education of American and NATO troops to be more, I'm not making this up, sensitive to the Afghan Muslims. And that is supposedly going to curb the tide and stop any of these violent incidents from happening again. So once again, we have the executive branch of our government and, of course, the foreign governments not understanding the problem at all. See, Taliban's accepted responsibility for many of these attacks for a reason. They've been responsible for them. And treating the Muslim faith with its due respect in Guantanamo Bay hasn't seemed to alleviate the hatred that al-Qaeda or the Taliban has for the United States or other Western troops. This is abysmal, plain and simple. I'm Casey Hendrickson and want to thank you for tuning in.